Hello everybody, it's Matt here from Nuka Exotics, and today we are going to be rehousing this Poecilotheria vittata adult female tarantula, also known as the ghost ornamental tarantula, that's off to the left there in that cup. You can probably see her a little bit through there. And we're going to be rehousing her to this enclosure right here. So I'm going to give you a bit of a look at this. This enclosure is an 8 by 8 by 12 inch Exoterra Nano tall enclosure. And let's check this out. I have a big cork bark tube in here that she can climb into. The Poecilotheria species in general, all of them, they love those cork bark tubes. If you can set one in there just like that, they'll hide in the middle. You drop the food in or whatever, they're going to stay in there most of the time. And the substrate is coconut fiber that I'm using, damp coconut fiber with some sphagnum moss on top, which both those, they help to retain the moisture and therefore the humidity. I don't really like to use the word humidity with tarantulas. It generally just means damp substrate, not soaking wet substrate, but damp. And then I put a little fake plant in there and a water dish, and that's all you need. I mean, this enclosure, this is like the same setup that I will use for all of my adult female Poecilotheria species in general, unless I have an exceptionally large individual. And then sometimes I will rehouse them into a Zilla front opening enclosure that's a little bit bigger, and those are about 12 by 12 by 15 inches, I believe, or something that's just a little bit bigger than this is, and that'll work great. Something like the Poecilotheria rufulata and some of those, they get pretty big, and even this vittata right here, I mean, they can reach sizes of, I believe, around 9 inches in leg span. And this individual, she is pretty large. She's pretty chunky. I believe she's been bred before. I believe she has produced spiderlings. Not with me, but I bought her from someone that I think had bred her. And so you can tell she's got some size on her already. And I'm trying to get her out of the cup here and into the enclosure. She's being a little bit stubborn. She's being a little bit. Usually they'll walk right out into the enclosure. I mean, most of the time, but not her, I guess. And I'm going to keep trying to get her out here. You can see that this cup that I have her in, I've got holes on all the sides, and this allows me to stick that barbecue skewer in there. That's what I'm using, and I just gently tap at the legs. You don't want to directly poke them with the end of it, obviously. You just kind of brush the side of it up against the legs and kind of herd her out. Or, I mean, that's the idea, at least when they work with you. Not like in this situation, apparently. I like to get the enclosure as well set as possible, so I'm being a little OCD there fixing the plant, because I don't like to stick my hands back in there when I have an adult female Poecilotheria vittata in there, or a Poecilotheria in general. It's not great to stick your hand in there and do maintenance. I mean, you probably get away with it 99 times out of 100, but I just try not to make it common practice. So I fix up the enclosure before she's in there, make sure everything's good, so that once she's in there, you're ready to shut the door and leave her alone. And so let's pop the lid here and try round two, try to get her in this enclosure, see if she'll cooperate with us. Like I said, usually they'll go in there pretty quickly, especially the Poecilotheria species. I mean, they're very docile in general. In general, I'm not saying to go out and hold them. I don't hold them, but they're usually prone to hide rather than try to strike at you. There are certain individuals that go against that, but And so, all right, so here we go. I finally got her in there, and let's see if we can get a little bit of a zoomed in look at her. And I have the flash on here so you can see those patterns. I mean, the patterns on the Poecilotheria vittata, they're great. And I'm going to get another still photo there for you to look at where she's a bit more spread out, and you can see those patterns on the legs, that purplish color on the carapace. I mean, they're just amazing. And yeah, so I finally got her in there. She's going to love that. She's going to go in that cork bark tube there pretty soon and hide out. I already know. And so, yeah, thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what kind of videos you like to see, if you like these rehousing videos, if you want feeding videos, or if you're interested in other reptiles even. And remember to check out my website at www.nukamediaexotics.com.